Hi. So my name is Donna. I will be 62 in March. I have been playing with, experimenting with 3D printers since 2020. My first one was a Creality Ender 3 V2, and I did a video of that setup, and that took me 6 hours to put together. It's supposed to take 2, and it took 6, but I built it, and I used that printer for quite a while and printed some. I think that I don't know if you can see that vase was my very first print, Creality Ender 3v2 print. Um, and then I've got another vase over there that I did, and I still use that. I love the thing, and I really liked the printer, and getting that printer first helped me to give me a good feel for how it all works. But I didn't like the bed leveling, and there were just a lot of issues, and it got banished because I got a bamboo P1P in 2023, and I have used that, and I printed a bunch of stuff with that. Um, in fact, yeah, this is one of the things I printed. I'm grabbing this real quick so you can see, but I just printed this recently, and it's just a jewelry earring holder, so I printed that on my bamboo. I printed a little organizer on my bamboo for my bathroom. So I've been doing a lot of printing of things that I needed around the house to try, to learn. I printed a thing to hold my cutting board. And so I do a lot of prints like that, like decor prints and, things like that. So, yeah, so I got my bamboo, really like my bamboo, been using my bamboo. Then I've been watching, I have a friend who has been building tool changers like the Soval and some of the other ones like from scratch, getting the kits and putting it together, and I've been kind of watching that community, but wasn't really interested in getting a tool changer that I had to build from scratch because I've always been um, interested in the hobby where there wasn't a whole lot of tinkering. I'm not a tinkerer. Although I did have to fit, and I've got videos where I actually had to fix some things on my bamboo that you can go back and take a look at. But I just prefer to have it pretty much ready to go. And I don't print it for the act of putting it. I don't get printers for the act of putting them together. I get them so that I can print things on them because I enjoy the the results of the prints. So when this came out, I was like, I had been doing the printing stuff on the bamboo, just random things. Like I printed for one of my daughters, I printed a peacock, and I'll pop a picture up here so you can see what it looks like. And this is the amount of filament, and this, and this, and I think I have another half a Tupperware container, just filament poop that went to waste for this peacock that I printed. And so I really like the multicolor stuff, and I love decor and things like that. So I thought, this is already put together pretty much. All I have to do is do the tool heads. So I went ahead and backed the Kickstarter, and I got my printer last Saturday at 10:26 a.m. I remember. And yeah, so they left it, and I recorded the whole unboxing and putting it together and the whole spiel. So I will show you some bits of that with some voiceovers. And but before I do that, I wanted to tell you the things that I ran into doing this. First of all, it was heavy. Okay, like I said, I'll be 62 soon. It was really heavy, and I was able to get it from the ground onto here. I didn't have any flat space left in my 3D printing room. because my 3D printing room was also my office, and I'm now moving my office into a different room and putting all my printers in the printing room. It was my office slash printer room, and now it's just going to be my printer room on my office. And I didn't have any flat space in my office slash printer room, so I had to put it here on my dining table in my main, in my kitchen living room area, which is fine because I live on my own, so I don't have to worry about it affecting anybody else. It's just me. So that said, it was heavy. So if you're on the older side trying to lift this, or you don't happen to be too strong, it is heavy. So I did an interesting way of putting it up on the dining room table. And I will put that right here. I'm not tall enough. Yes, guys, this is not the best way to do it. But it's like, I think I'm going to have to do it this way, because I'm not tall enough, and I don't want to try to lift it back up, because I got it up once. I got it up on the table once. Please don't freak out too much. The reality of doing this by yourself. Can I do this? I hope I don't break something in the process. At least I have this round table's from IKEA, and it had a leaf in it, and I was like, okay, we're taking the leaf. I never have the leaf out, but we're going to do that this time. And I hope that doing it this way does not cause any issues. Issues with heaven. Okay, is there anything on the bottom of the box? There's a couple side little pieces of, now we can move this. I'm going to put it over here. And here's how you do it by yourself. Holding on. Okay, that was clunky. That was clunky. All right, so let's see what it says. Okay, so once I got it up there, taking apart the whole spiel, unboxing it, I would say 95% of it was easy. The things that I had challenges with, the 5%, were the tool heads. And I made a mistake in the, in the connectee, the Bowden tubes. So let me just tell you a tale of 3 dragons. So once I got everything set up, I tried to print the dragon that comes with it, that's on there. So the first thing that happened, okay, so here's dragon number 1. Okay, I stopped it. I stopped the print. And it also, I don't know, for those of you who may have printed it, it's got the wrong colors. This is supposed to be black, that's supposed to be yellow. And do you guys know why there was a layer shift? I'll tell you. There's a layer shift on this one because when you put together the tool heads and attach them, you have to make sure that the red, there's a little red on the outside, is gone. It'll tell you, by the way, I love the book. The book that came with it was fantastic. Follow it. Follow it word by word. Okay, so essentially, I'm doing it this way because it's easier, but let me just show you the picture. It shows you when you first get the tool head, there's a little red around here, like this. This is the ones that weren't the special one. So see how that's got the red inside the little square? Okay. So what you need to do when you put the tool head on the bay, you need to do it so that the red disappears. Okay. So I didn't realize how important, I'm showing you the pictures right now, how important that was. And there was still red on the second, which is the red, right? No, the white. Yeah, there was still I don't know if it was a 1 or 2, but one of the tool heads still had the red on it. So let me find the right picture real quick so I can show you what it's supposed to look like. Align. Okay, so you can see that it might be glowy. Okay, that's the way it's supposed to look. Mine looked like the one with the X. Okay, make sure it's far right. See what I'm doing there? Just far right, and then those things. And then there's a little thing right there. So the metal thing that sticks out goes in there, and then you need to line up these magnets like so. It takes me a little bit to figure out exactly. I'm getting better at it. There's only 4 of them, so. Ta-da! Is that all of them? They all connect? Yeah, they're connected. So that is how, so I figured that out. I got a layer shift. Okay. Do you guys know why the colors are wrong? The colors are wrong, and this happened twice. Okay, so I had a layer shift. And, oh, okay. And then I got it to print, but the colors are wrong. I plugged the Bowden tube into the wrong thing. So pay really close attention to the little, what do you think, the thing that feeds the filament, and then the tube that goes to the back here. I had them switched. Make sure that 3 is plugged into 3 and 4 is plugged into 4. Because what happened is I got the opposite colors. Even though the slicer saw the right colors, I had the wrong. So yeah, I've got I have an evil one. It was just, that's what happened. I mean, the print turned out really, really good, but the colors were switched. And then dragon number 3. Can you guys figure out what happened here? Okay, so dragon number 3, the yellow is gone. What happened was the yellow filament got stuck. I've got it attached on here. It got, you know how the filament will get on it and it'll get stuck and it won't go? The Snapmaker does not default to telling you when there's an issue with the filament. So you have to go in. Let me see if I can, I'll just do it real quick so I can show you. You go into, there's a little, looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6-sided thing. And then you go into settings and you go into print preferences. I'm not sure if you can see that on the screen. These, the extrusion failure detection, the filament runout recovery, and the auto loading. Well, these 2, extrusion failure and filament runout, is defaulted to off. So what happened was it kept printing even though the yellow was stuck. So make sure when you go to print that you go into the print preferences and you turn out the filament runout recovery. So it'll tell you. I think that's it. I'll have to double check. I'll double check and put it on the screen. But because it did not know that there was no filament and it kept printing the yellow even though there was no filament and it was stuck. And I'm used to bamboo just, because I use an AMS on my P1P. So I'm used to it like letting me know, hey, the filament is stuck. So you can't. So watch for that. I will double check to see if that's what it is, but it doesn't default to telling you. And then I tried to print a tree topper with this Matter Hackers Quantum whatever. And it started, I had a brim, so it was like this on the plate. And apparently it got stuck. And I hadn't turned that on yet, the filament runout recovery. And when I came to check on it, it was doing this with no filament coming out. And it was telling me that it did an X percentage of it, which was more percentage than this. It's like, oh, it's 60% done. I'm like, no, it's not, because this was supposed to be like a really tall tree topper. And I thought it would be really stunning in this filament. I love this color. I bought this Quantum like years ago. It's a Quantum Raspberry Gold, Matter Hackers. And I've tried a few times to print with it and it keeps getting stuck. So I'm going to use my, I have a filament respooler thingy that I printed. So I'm going to try putting this on one of the spools that I printed and see if that will work. But yeah, so I did that and it just kept going even though there was no filament coming out. So just be aware. Just be aware that that's an issue. Okay, so the tool heads, make sure that there's no red left over. Totally, it's not a joke. Make sure there's no red left over. Or no red on the outside, like I showed you in the quick start guide. I had the filament, the thing keep printing even though there was no filament. I tried printing. This isn't to say that, this printer isn't phenomenal. I am really happy with the choice. Just wanted to give you a heads up on a couple things to keep an eye on, and that is make sure those tool heads are set up properly. Make sure that you've got the Bowden tubes that go from the different filament feeds going to the right thing. I don't know why I did that, but I did that. And I did start to have some issues with the corner of my plate. So I was printing these little ornaments, right? And so the corner plate had this thing. I was trying to find the brim thing. I think if I put a brim on it, it won't lift up like that. But this one didn't turn out well. These turned out perfectly, no problema. These two. And then let's see. My snowman came out really good. I printed a snowman. The only thing I noticed was at the bottom there's, and that's probably something I have to do or set up, but I don't know if you can see the little circles on the bottom of that glove. I may need to file that or something, but otherwise it turned out really, really nice. And look at the top. Look at the top where yeah, I really like how that turned out. And then I did just a little snowflake tree, and that turned out good. And the base looks good, so that's nice. What else did I do here? I did a temperature tower, but the amount of so this is the tower that went with the snowman, so that's not bad. And he didn't have, I haven't been separating it so I could tell how much less it is, but it's in terms of how much filament I'm using. Although I wasted a lot just trying to get some of these working. The other thing is I haven't figured out how to remove an item from the slicer if it's not printing properly. Because if you look at this, these are all failed. This is the tree supports for the snowman. But if you look at all these failures, I pulled them off the plate. So I did have a lot of failures. And I think it's my fault because I'm not very good with the slicer. I need to learn how to do better with the slicer. So I'm not going to blame this on Snapmaker at all. But yeah, so look at all that. But that was my own fault. Okay. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So go through the settings after you've set up and make sure, because don't assume that just because your Bamboo or your whatever other printer you have has it defaulted, this one might not. So go through all the settings and make sure it's turned on, things that you want it to do, it does. Because like I said, it kept me. It just kept printing. And the filament was stuck. So I would rather it said, hey, filament is stuck. Now the AMS tells you, if stuff gets stuck, but this doesn't. And I think the filament runout recovery is the setting. Like I said, I will double check. Adding these things to the side were a little bit of a challenge, but not bad. Just make sure you hold on so that you don't push too hard. I was afraid I was going to push too hard. What else? Yeah, so far I've really enjoyed printing on it. I mean, I know there is some, but I'm learning. I'm learning. And like I said, I'm trying to figure out why this corner lifted up for these snowflakes. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think. Oh, I did have um anomalies. Some anomalies where the thing that carries the tool head around was bumping up against the side, the carrier. And then I would get like a print anomaly, and then I would say, okay. And so there's been a few times where I've had to say, okay, okay, okay. So just keep an eye out for that kind of thing. I had a Y axis anomaly, and I couldn't find, there wasn't anything stuck to anything, and it is a little titchy. It is a little titchy, but I have got some really good prints out of it. And I think it's just a matter of learning the slicer on making sure that my filaments don't get stuck and things like that. Overall, the whole experience has been really good. It was super quick. The only reason I had the issues is because I did not put it together correctly, which is why we had a layer shift. And then I mixed up the Bowden tubes from the 3 and 4 were mixed up. So 3 was feeding to 4 and 4 was feeding to 3. And so the colors got mixed up. That was me. And this was, there should be that. I hope that that's the setting, because I am so used to Bamboo telling me when filament is not working or stuck. So somebody who's done this and knows, is that the setting? I'm assuming so. And stickiness has been great, except for the one in the corner when I was trying to print 4 snowflakes on the thing. So I don't know what that is. And like I said, someone said to try a brim, so I will try that. I will put little blurbs to show you how I put things together. I will show you putting the tool heads on, putting the things on the side on. This is moving into another room, and I will be doing more videos on my experience with the Snapmaker. I would say it's definitely worth backing or buying. It is going to be just based on the reduction in waste. And it really is easy to use. It's just a little bit of a learning curve. Not a huge one, but a little bit. So for those of us who are not savvy, don't run print gardens or print farms that are, just getting into it a little bit more seriously. I mean, I've been in it since 2020, but not seriously. I had an ender. I printed some really neat things for my house with my ender. Then I got the Bamboo. Loved the Bamboo because it took me half hour to put down to do the Bamboo, and that's because I was taking my time. And this one, it took me 2 hours to put this together. 2 hours. And it took me 2 hours because I really did struggle with the tool changers. But I got it, and it's working. Now it's just a matter of my getting, like I tried to print with this and it was stuck. And so I'm going to try, it's free. It's random and free. So yeah. So I just think that it was more of the filament thing than it was a printer thing. Let me put this here so it's not running free. I love this. I don't know. I've had it for years and years and years, and I keep trying to print stuff, and it's not. I haven't been able to be successful with it, so I'm going to try to transfer it to one of the refillable spools that I printed. I printed like 3 of them, so I'm going to try and move it to that. We'll see how that goes. But that's what I've got for today. And if I think of anything else, I'll do a second part. But like I said, it was really, I'm excited. And it was not difficult to put together. I just wanted to call attention to the few things that I ran into. And that was the tool heads. That was filament in the wrong Bowden tubes going to the thing, and the fact that it didn't tell me that it ran out, because you could see that with the yellow. I am planning on doing hue forges on here. I am planning on doing, I haven't tried a hue forge yet, and I'm planning on doing all kinds of stuff. I just don't know what yet. I'm going to move it in the printer room in a minute. And that's it. That's all I got. So thank you so much for watching. Please like if you like 3D printing content. I'm also going to do a review of my laptop that I bought a year ago. Fantastic laptop. It's a ThinkPad, but it's a great little laptop, because my desktop that I built years ago is a little worse for wear, so I'm starting to use my laptop instead. So I will do a review on that as well if you're looking for something that's under $1,000, and will do what you need. Probably will do what you need. And I'm going to be printing a bunch of stuff for my Christmas tree. And I think that's it. All right. Well, thank you so much. Please make sure you hit like, and I'll be doing more content through this coming year. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.